Well, one of those days. It could always be worse, I suppose. Woke up this morning to a couple of phone calls. First one from Tim telling me that Procrastinator was sick. We already knew. I was concerned that Cutie Cumber was sick. She is. So both those horses aren't going to be able to compete tomorrow at the Meadows. So, which was bad enough. So it's not really how you want to start the morning. You know, as somebody who, you know, I'm not an omen guy, right? I'm not the guy that believes in omens. And you know, I think we work hard and things happen, both good and bad sometimes. So I took it with a grain of salt. Yeah, listen, you know, both those horses, trying to get Cutie Cumber started up. I was happy with her first start, very protective of her since then, wanted to make sure everything was right for this week. Her feet were hurting her a little bit, but obviously optimistic. And Procrastinator, who's had, you know, quietly, truthfully, you know, we moved a bunch of these pacers that weren't good enough, and some of them it wasn't fair because they're so darn fast. And other ones just weren't cutting it. Well, Procrastinator always showed he could. You know, he had that mile and 51 apiece at Mohawk, 52, I think. He raced really well a couple of starts, more than enough for us to say, geez, there's something there. And he wants to be a good horse, so it's really hard for me to just say, we're trying to get him in a place where he was good, you know. When you put on your hindsight glasses and look back, you know, I wish I had raced him in the Meadows rather than racing him in Scioto. I wish I had done a lot of things differently with a lot of horses. That's the beauty of hindsight, I suppose. But he was in a good spot tomorrow. You think he was picked very favorably, and he was coming in good. But there's no need for that to be that loud. But won't be able to go now. So, you know, not the news I want in the morning. I get up, have a shave. I say, all right, I'm going to swing by the barn, and then I'm going to go to Scioto. I had made my mind up last night if I was going to go to Scioto, and I said, you know what? We'll see how it is at the barn, and then I'll make a decision after that. Just about to get on the highway, and I get a call from Danny and Amy that works for us. And Danny, they're shipping the horses down to Scioto today, right? Columbus, and what a mission. Danny calls me, he said, Anthony, I'm really sorry. He said, there's 3 accidents on the highway, the GPS says. I'm stuck in the first one, and there's 2 more just up ahead. There's no way to get off the highway, and it says we're going to miss retention time for Columbus. Of course you are. Certainly not Danny and Amy's fault. It's just turning out to be one of those days. So I literally just pulled over, pulled a Yui, and went back. I'm not going to go to Scioto today. As I said, not a big omen guy, but at the same token, day's not really starting off the way I want it to go. You know what will bring me around is watching my boy play baseball. So I'm going back to Ontario right now. I looked, Kurt Sugg can drive. What a mission. I'd said that yesterday. You know, Kurt does very well with trotters, as I said. Understands how we want this particular horse hung up. You know, a guy that's been around a long time, but pays attention. He knew the horse. He knew exactly what I was talking about when I said the hobbles. He understood. So, Kurt is going to drive What a Mission. I'm going to head back to Ontario, watch my boy play baseball, and try and put at least this part of Wednesday behind us. You know, I don't think people understood how difficult the decision was for me on Saturday night to go to Prince Edward Island. First off, I gave the option to James and my brother Mark to go to PEI and drive Sintra, a horse who can win the Gold Cup. Not, if he gets a trip, and he can win the Gold Cup, and he will be one of the favorites. The only horse that might be picked to beat him is our other horse. I don't think the ideal horse can beat us unless he gets a great trip and we get a bad trip, and that's half-mile racing, and that can happen also. So we had one of the favorites in the Gold Cup, and I said I wasn't going to go because I did want to focus on Race for Landing, Warren Player, these horses, make sure everything was set up. I went out of my way Saturday to take them to Mohawk to make sure we trained them in the bike they'll be racing in. Set all the hobbles the way they have to be in case something happened. Everything was documented, as it usually is anyway. This is where the bridle goes. This is where the hobbles go. This is how the horse warms up. Everything, no stone unturned type mentality. As we try to do anyway, but especially when you're going into these stake races, everything is double and triple checked. Dexter Dunn was going to drive Carter Michael Dio. James was going to be listed on everything. And if I needed to, and I probably was going to need to, Mark would come to Ontario. Because he can't get to PEI, because he's in the Poconos. Okay, I'm going to go to PEI. I'm going to go home, and I'm going to drive Sintra. I wake up this morning, race office, and Dominic calling. Ron Burke sends me a message. Dexter Dunn sends me a message. Anthony, I'm going to go with Domenico's horse, the Antonacci horse in the same race. Okay, James isn't in there. Step one. James McDonald can drive Carter Michael Dio. He knows him probably better than any human on earth. Good. That's one. Two. James isn't driving Horn Player, which James doesn't truly believe in Horn Player the same way I do yet. My faith in that filly is blind right now. I have no evidence to support. Yeah, she shows 58-29, but I have no evidence to support the claim that she is a good filly. This may be another situation where maybe she's not as good as I think. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm human, it happens. Both sides happen. Sometimes you don't think they're as good and they are, and sometimes you think they're better than they are. Ow. How did I turn that down? Regardless of perception, belief, or want, she is in the peaceful way. She does have a chance to make the final, and if she's as good as I think she has a chance to do well in the final. So James doesn't want to drive her, fine, that's okay. James is a great driver, but when you don't believe in the horse you're driving, it's not a perfect situation, right? Any trainer will tell you that. So who can we get? Mark can't get there in time. The plane's not going to get there in time. What about Trevor Henry? Trevor's a trot man, great horseman, and an aggressive driver. Much like me. Better. He's done a lot more in his career than I have. Wins a lot of races. He's actually a good fit for Horn Player. Trevor Henry will do just fine, thank you. Check 2. Okay. Brace for landing and Nothing But a Dreamer. Well, Nothing But a Dreamer, Doug McNair's already won with. It would be stupid not to list Doug McNair on Nothing But a Dreamer. And here's where my brother will land, and will get there if he's on that plane, which I assume he is, because if he's not on there, that means that Dexter isn't there either. That means that Andy Miller's not there either. So, brace for landing, Mark McDonald. Landing strip, Mark McDonald. Check, check. The drivers are set for Mohawk. I'm comfortable with what I see for Mohawk Saturday night. I will be going to drive Sintra. Wally Hennessy will be driving Patrick de Piranha. As bad as Wednesday has started, we're making headway. So that's where we're at right now with the weekend. Today has not been a great day. I'm not going to drive What a Mission. I am going to watch my son play baseball. Thursday, I'm going to get up at 3:30 in the morning. I'm going to drive to Buffalo Airport. I'm going to fly to Illinois. I'm going to drive whoever the hell I'm listed to drive in Illinois. I'm going to drive back. Actually, Brian Hockman is going to pick me up at O'Hare. Now, I want to tell you, I don't give some of our clients, I just don't give them enough props. Maybe maybe in my mind, I don't know. Here's a guy that's going to drive me 3 hours from O'Hare to the Springfield Fair. Now his horse is racing, but still he can watch him race on TV, and he can just go to Springfield and not have to worry about picking up Anthony McDonald. And pick me up at the airport, drive me to Springfield. We're going to get done racing, get back in the car, rush back to the airport so I can make an 8:30 flight back to Buffalo at 11 so that I can be home at 1:30 in the morning. And on Friday, I'm going to wake up, I'm going to fly to Prince Edward Island. I'm going to get to see my family, which I rarely get to see, especially since the pandemic. I got to see mom and dad, obviously, when they come up for the open house. I haven't seen any of my friends in PEI for 2 years. Anyway, we still have a lot going on this week. It's just, I think everything just comes in these crashing waves, right? And you're going to have days. Listen, if the worst thing that happens to the stable.ca this week, or at least Wednesday, is that Procrastinator and Cutie-Cumber can't race, okay, it's not the end of the world. This is the time of year we start to see Anthony like Whispering Song yesterday. I don't know exactly what's wrong with her. I can't say for certain, but I have to at least entertain the proposition that she's simply just not as good as I think she is. And that's me. And you guys feel that with me also. Coupe de Ville has talent, goofed around yesterday. I don't really know what get into her. Smoking Irish Girl was awesome. Mopower Baby made a break at the gate. Today's a new day. We had some horses racing today. And I'm not skipping over Toronto. I have some work to do with Landing Pad. Sir Strong, I wasn't super impressed with his mile last night, but I want to see more from both those horses. We need to see more from a lot of horses. We need to have horses hold up their end of the bargain, as it were. And some of the horses are going to continue to leave as we get set for another fall here at the stable. Man, where in the hell is the year gone? Anyway, it was great. We got everything cleaned up today. Columbus is going to be scratched. What a Mission is going to race. Cutie-Cumber and Procrastinator will be scratched tomorrow. We have the drivers set for Saturday. I am going to PEI to drive Sintra. And then next week it starts all over again. Lots of fairs in Ohio next week to visit. I'll be coming here with those. What a Mission, Columbus, all those horses will race in the fairs next week. And then next weekend, man, not only another baseball tournament for Molly, but a huge race week. Our Pennsylvania horses will be in action again, I believe. I'm certain Swinging Senorita will likely be... No, she's not in action. We actually gave her a couple of days on the grass. But our other fillies will be in action. Coupe de Ville, Whispering Song, those horses will all be going to the fairs next week. And yes, Sweet on Pete did not get in yesterday. She will be in to go at the fair on Sunday, as it wasn't our plan A, or maybe not even as it turned out to be our plan B, but she's going to be in to go, and a lot of the other horses also. So with that, I'm going to let you guys go. I hope you're having a good day. Yes, my day wasn't great to start off with, but I hope you're having a great day. Just another day at the stable. Take care.